What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a banger video. We're going to be getting into who would theoretically be the best DPS in the game between Acheron, mbbofficial, or Jingliu. We're going to be getting into some calculations for them. And towards the end, we're going to be getting into two different showcases of E2S1 Acheron and mbbofficial on this rotation of MOC12. The reason I didn't do Jingliu is because I don't have an E2S1 Jingliu and I couldn't find one that I could showcase properly. So if you enjoy this type of content, let me know by liking the video, leaving a comment in the comment section below, and consider subscribing to the channel. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. As always, we start by the baseline, and then for each character, the baseline is going to be E0S0 with their most free-to-play option, Lycone available with their best in slot set and their planar set as well. That's what the baseline would be. And then from there, we're going to add their teammates, their best teammates, and then from there we're going to transition into S1, and then from there we're going to start adding eidolons. So it goes into a little progressive ladder, if you will, and then we're going to do that for Jingliu, Dunhong, and then also for Acheron. We've already done kind of something like that for Acheron, but we're going to do it again. All right, and starting for Jingliu, her talent is already considered over here. So the talent that she absorbs 4% of their teammates' HP and then increases her own attack by a certain amount is already factored in here. All her teammates have at least 3,500 HP. Just to throw it out there, that's where we get this 2,268 number from. Bronya assumed she has 180% crit damage, and then Ruanmei assumed has 180% break effect. And then Pella is assumed to have the resolution process sweat Lycone. And then Bronya is going to be rocking past and future, and then Ruanmei is going to be rocking memories of the past. Here for mbbofficial, Sparkle is going to be presumed to be rocking past and future. Ruanmei is going to be rocking memories of the past, and Tingyu is going to be rocking Dance Dance Dance. For Sparkle, we have Acheron with past and future. Pella is going to be rocking the process sweat, and then Black Swan, it really doesn't matter which Lycone you run into her. You can run whichever, really, because it doesn't really matter. But for the E2 version, we're going to be swapping Black Swan for a Ruanmei here, and she's going to be rocking the memories of the past. Going back to Jingliu, so I'm also going to be assuming that whenever I calculate these numbers, all the buffs from all the three characters or all three supports are going to be active all at the same time. I'm not interested in doing simulation calculations. That's just too complicated for me to make videos on, but that's what I'm going to assume. So for Bronya's skill, she's going to give you a 66% damage bonus here, and then she also gives you an extra 10 just for being there. So Bronya by itself, 76% damage bonus right here. Also with her ultimate, she's going to give you 48.8%, so this will bring it to 73.8% crit damage here. So 73.8 on both sides. And then as well as that, she's going to bring you, let's put the Bronya buff here, going to give you 55% attack. So already with Bronya, her attack is already, her damage is already going pretty high. Now we're going to add Ruanmei. Ruanmei gives you a hefty 68% damage bonus. So 68% damage bonus added to this is going to bring this up to 144. So let's just do 144 on both sides. This is with Ruanmei at 100%, 180% break effect, as well as 25% rest pen that she gives you from her ultimate. Aside from the break damage and aside from the break efficiency that she also provides, so very, very huge buffs over here. Also, I forgot to mention, Bronya is also running past and future, so that's an extra 30% damage bonus, 174% right here. It's actually 72, so 172. And then 172. And then now Pella is going to be running the Resolution Pearls Sweat Lycone. And then Pella also gives you 12% resistance reduction to the target. So it's minus 12% right here as well. So let's just do minus 12%. And then as you can see, the damage for Jingliu S0 with the Destruction Lycone from Herta Shop is actually pretty good. All right, now we're just going to add the S1. And for that, I'm just going to remove everything that the other Lycone does. So the Blaze Attack, this and this is all removed. So now the first thing that the S1 does is give you base attack of 582. It also increases your crit damage by an extra 20%. So let's do 193 and 93.8. It's 93.8. Forgot the 0.8. You can't be forgetting the 0.8. Okay, the Eclipse stack for the S1 increases your damage by 14% per stack. So it's by 3. So it increases your damage by an extra 42%. So I'm just going to add 42% here. It doesn't matter where I add it, so it's 62. Bada bing, bada boom, 398 and 378. That's a hefty amount. And then as well as ignore 12% defense. So we're going to add 12% defense ignore down here. So with that, skill damage about almost 190k and ultimate damage 150k. That is pretty nice at E0 S1. The S1 damage is already calculated in this little box down here below. And this damage down here that you see is the extra damage that you get from attacking a single target enemy. So if you hit a single target enemy with the skill or ultimate, she's going to be adding an extra 60k, almost 60k damage to it. So her damage is looking pretty good at E1, and then also the damage for E2 only changes for her skill. This is the damage she's going to be doing after she does a ultimate. She's going to be doing a skill right after. So if she hits a single target, this is all single target. I'm not taking into consideration side and adjacent enemies, which to be fair is going to be a detractor, is going to not make Acheron look better, because Acheron obviously deals more damage the more enemies are on the field. But it's still, you're still gonna see that Acheron doesn't like she's not behind, you know. 241,000 for the skill damage at E2 and 164,000 for the ultimate. There's a reason why Jingliu has been regarded the best DPS in the game, and things like this is why. And again, this is theoretical damage. Like the actual damage is actually like higher, because I can get about 230k with my E0, but it's a lot of intangibles that you have to like take into consideration. So this is all theoretical damage. If we were to add these up, she's going to be slapping for about 400,000 right here, which is pretty good at E2. So let's just say that that's our highest damage right now. And remember guys, this is just 2 instances of damage on single target, and I'm not even taking into consideration this right here. So it's actually like more like 460,000. So okay, after our Dan Heng, he was very hard to calculate, because every attack that he has multiple ticks of damage, and every tick has a different formula. So this was really tough to calculate, but I did it. I did my best. Okay, so he's going to be rocking the Fall of an Eon Lycon with the Katir set and the Rudolin Arena set. Nothing crazy. His damage at E0 so far stands at 71,000 for the Fulgurant Leap and the ultimate combined. First thing, we're going to add Sparkle. So Sparkle is going to add 15% attack off the cuff, and then an 180% crit damage Sparkle is going to add about 88% crit damage. So let's add 88% over here, bring this up to 112, and then bring this up to 112 as well. Next, he's going to be adding 48.8 alt damage boost. Let me see if this is added in there. It is. So 48.8 damage boost over here, same as over here. And aside from that, also Sparkle is going to contribute a lot of damage to Dan Heng because of the skill points and action advance. So that's why Sparkle is so strong whenever it comes to Danny Boy, because she kind of fixes most of his, like, his only issue is the skill points, right? He uses a lot of skill points, and she kind of like remediates that to a certain degree. All right, Ruanmei is going to add another 68%. So let's just do it right here, 78. It doesn't matter. These two fields are exactly the same. 70% damage bonus, and then the rest pen of the target is going to be inflicted by 25%. And then also Dan Heng has one of the best breaking sets in the game. Like not the breaking set, breaking capability. So because of his Fulgurant Leap having like 120% break efficiency, Ruanmei actually boosts that up to about 180, which is kind of nuts. So he has a lot of good breaking potential that adds a lot of extra damage via himself doing the break damage, and then Ruanmei's also break damage. All right, Tingyu's Benediction raises their attack by up to a quarter of her own attack, so 625 I think is gonna be it, because I'm gonna give her about 2,500 attack. So 625, let's see if we can add it right here, 625. So that's gonna be 997. Or 977 right here. And remember, this is just the benediction, and then she also is going to give you 50% damage bonus as well. So let's just add it right here. So this is going to be 99, and then this over here will be also 99. So when you add all 3 supports, Dan Heng is going to be doing 160,000 E0 with the Fulgurant Leap, which is the enhanced basic attack, and then also 84,000 for a total of 247,000 right here at E0. His S1 is the only thing that adds actual damage, because his E2 just gives him an extra stack and an extra turn, which is very, very powerful. That's adding even more damage. Now what we got to do is add his S1, because this is without the S1, right? So let's just add the S1. All right, so his signature Lycon, the first thing is going to be 635 of his base attack, which is kind of insane. It's really, really high. And then also it's going to give him an extra 18% crit rate, so this is going to be up to 98% crit rate. And then the final thing, it's also going to be giving him 36% attack, so that brings the attack even higher. And then the last thing it does, which we really can't see here, is help him with his energy recharge. So if you have his Lycon, he gets about, I think, 12% more energy recharge, which is going to help him tremendously getting his ultimate, aside with Ting Yun, or paired up with Ting Yun, and also the enemies that he's going to be killing. So okay, with everything added, he's going to be slapping for about 300,000, which is pretty accurate. And then his E2 is going to be slapping for about 317,000. But remember, guys, with Sparkle, this is going to be like not every other turn, because you're not going to have all three, but for at least two of them, for at least two of the Foreground Leaps and ultimate, you're going to have all these things active, because Sparkle's buff lasts for 3 turns, her ultimate buffs last for 3 turns, so she can have it up the entire time. Ruan Mei, if you run her with Memories of the Past, or you run her with a 3-turn ult rotation, you can have her buffs up all the whole time. The only one that's going to be iffy is going to be Ting Yun, and it's because her ultimate buff only lasts for 2 turns, but you can kind of time it with his ultimate into Foreground Leap. So you can pretty much like make this a thing pretty regularly, as I do like use it myself. This is the team that I use for my Dan Heng. And when I don't want to play like as risky, I take out Ruan Mei and put like a Fu Xuan or like a sustain there if I want to play safe. But for MOC, usually I've been using this team and it works out pretty well. So comparatively right now, Jingliu is coming out a little bit on top. The thing with Jingliu is that with this team, she's going to be killing her own team. So if she doesn't kill the enemy, she's going to or they just end up getting hit, your run may be over. So it may be a little bit more difficult to avoid getting hit with Jingliu than Dan Heng, because Dan Heng actually breaks shields more often than Jingliu. You get more turns with Dan Heng as well, because you have Sparkle gives him a turn, he gives himself another turn. The ultimate that Ting Yun is giving her gets him another turn. So he goes a lot of times. So you don't have a lot of downtime. Like you don't have a lot of time that the enemy is hitting you, so you can like end the run, like that way. Because like if they kill any of these, you have to start over the run. He's also not killing his own team, so it's a give and take. You have more damage here with Jingliu per instance of damage, but then Dan Heng gives more instances of damage and does like a little bit less, but not a little, a lot of less. But and again, this is all theoretical. Like I have done hits for about 400,000, so it's all very theoretical. And something that I like to say, it's like one whole turn, it's more damage than any damage bonus you can get, especially with a character as strong as Dan Heng. Last but not least, we got Acheron, and we've already talked a lot about Acheron. So she's going to be rocking the prisoner set with the new crit damage set or crit set that just came out. I don't even know, the Izanumi, whatever it's called, with the S5 Good Night Sleep Well, which is already added here, 72% damage bonus and 476 base attack. Right now, she doesn't have the 160% damage bonus from her passive for the Nihility teammates. So the first thing we're going to do is add that. So we're just going to start by adding 160%. And let's just go ahead and add Pella with the Resolution Light Cone, because it's super fast to add. And then we can also add this, and for this we're going to calculate the Epiphany buff, because since most of her damage comes from the ult, you can kind of time it to hit the Epiphany. Okay, so she's going to do a vulnerability multiplier of 25% with the Epiphany, and then also is going to add 20.8 defense reduction, so it be 76.8 defense reduction. The 160% damage bonus already added. Yeah, I think everything's done. Also keep in mind that for this team, you have to add in Black Swan's personal damage, because she does do a lot of personal damage by herself. That's something to consider right here. And then finally, we're just going to add Sparkle. Sparkle is going to give her 15% attack. And as we discussed before, the extra crit damage is about 88% crit damage and 48.8% damage boost. And her single target damage is going to be about 346k, and then the AoE damage is 200 some k. And then if we consider everything else, she's going to be hitting for about 1 million damage, 5 enemies, which we've all seen. We've all seen her hit for 1 million damage. Yeah, I don't know what to say. If we add her E1, right, her E1 gives us 18% more crit rate when attacking a debuffed enemy, which you should always be attacking debuffed enemy. So her crit rate at this point is going to boost her damage to about 400k single target. And now for the juicy part, if we remove Black Swan, right, and then we add, let's just bring in Ruan Mei here, right? Let's bring in Ruan Mei into the fray right here, right? So if we go ahead and remove Black Swan from this, right, just put this back to the way it was, and then we just add Ruan Mei. She's still going to keep the 160% because we're talking about E2 Acheron, right? But Ruan Mei is going to add more damage, right? So Ruan Mei will add 68% damage right here. So this will bring this extra damage to 117. Also is going to give you res pen for about 25%. And the best thing about Ruan-Mei and Acheron is that Acheron breaks shields regardless of the enemy type, and Ruan-Mei is going to extend that break efficiency even further, making Acheron it's just a destroyer. Like she melts everything because she can break everything, and that is something just so like invaluable. As you can see, because we lost the vulnerability debuff and the defense reduction, the damage is a little lower. However, the extra damage that you're going to be doing, you're going to be breaking the shields way more often. All that extra damage that Ruan-Mei is going to provide for you via breaking shields has also not been taken into consideration. All right, now we're going to calculate the S1. First thing, we're going to remove the other light cone, and then we're going to add the 635 for the flat attack. Also, the light cone adds 36% crit damage to Acheron and a 48% damage bonus, which brings this up to 165. And just adding that light cone by itself just gets this damage pretty high, like 450,000 single target, 272,000 for AoE. And this also enables her to do a debuff whenever she launches her skill. And at E2, this means she gets a total of 3 stacks every time she takes a turn and does her skill. Incredibly very powerful. That allows her to actually get one more ultimate off per 2 cycles, which is huge. That's another instance of this damage. If anybody had any doubt if Acheron is the best DPS in the game, she definitely is, especially like in my opinion, even higher than E2 Da Hong Bibilune, because it's not only the amount of damage she's doing to a single target and to AoE enemies, it's also how easy it is for that to happen. Like having a Pella, Sparkle, Ruan-Mei just thrown in the team, you can do that. If you don't have her E2, you can still get close to 1 million damage, or even to 1 million damage if you just have a Black Swan or even a Gwenaifen for that matter, and another good support. You can also run her with a sustain and she's still going to do tremendous amounts of damage. Another great point is that one of her best sustains is Gallagher, which is on her own banner. So if you have Acheron, odds are you also have Gallagher to support her. The amount of damage that Acheron can put out in any given turn, and she can do this almost every single turn. Like it's if you have good supports and fast enough supports, she can do this pretty often. There's a screenshot shared in my Discord, which by the way, join the summon squad, link in the description below. They shared a screenshot, which I'm going to put on the screen, of Acheron doing like, I don't know, 1 billion damage, like an actual 1 billion damage. No other character can get that high, not even Argenti. You can run her in MOC, you can run her in Pure Fiction, you can run her in Simulated Universe. She has one of the best techs in Simulated Universe. She's just an all-around best DPS. Like, she is multi-tool, multi-use. You can use her anywhere, any type of content. She can break everybody regardless of their type. She's just the best character, like to me, the best DPS character in the game. So, all right, to wrap up the video, I have 2 showcases for E2 S1 Danhong and E2 S1 Acheron. So if you're into that, make sure to stick around for it. Otherwise, this is going to be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think, and until next time, guys, see ya.
So, watch this. This is amazing. Do we still have the upper hand? Enemy data net marker activated. Time for middle counterattack. Some value.
Another turn case. Just time for blade. I wait for the departure. It takes a fall.
Ready for another? I'll go easy this time. You'll spit me?
Take the water for blade.
Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind. Eternal. Let's play and you find the answer.
Rebuild destined for blade.
Come get me. Enemy data secured. Net marker activated. Time for middle counterattack.
I'm weak from the heart. It's too simple.
Missing support. There's more to life. You're sticky?
Still water's not ready.
I failed.
I wonder what that is.
Cool.
What is that sound?
This is amazing.
1,000 wonders to fight as one. We're in trouble now.
Every petal will be swept away by the wind.
Heaven surge. Rise. Weaken fluid scales. Lord cleansing dragon. The time to change. Heaven surge. Break.
Some value, I suppose. Eternal.
Let's you find the answer. You're sticky?
I sent a storm. Heaven surge. Rise.
Come get me.
Weaken fluid scales. Lord cleansing dragon. Heaven surge. Break.
Yeah. You're all in. 1,000 wonders to fight as one.
Existence is